all living in a world gone geek. It's time to geek hard or go home. The podcast is real. Here's your host, Grounded Geek.
Hey everybody, welcome back to The Podcast is Real with World Gone Geek. I am your host, Jeff, aka Grounded Geek. With me, as always, my cohort in crime. No, we're not actually in crime. But he is my cohort. There he is, Utah. Welcome to the show.
Hey, greetings, programs. I feel like I haven't said that in a while.
I almost admitted to crimes that we've committed, so I hope that I can delete that out of there so people don't know about the crimes we have done. Or, I'm sorry, don't think that we have committed crimes.
We haven't.
We don't want them to think we have committed crimes.
The crimes that we may have hypothetically committed. No, we haven't committed any crimes. The only crime I can think of is maybe going through a White Castle drive-thru with rats on our shoulders.
If that's a crime, then
we are guilty.
Yes, for
as
sure.
charged.
All right. Well, that requires an explanation that we don't have time for in this episode. But if you guys ever want to hear it, let us know. We'll add that to a future episode. But I'm very excited about tonight's episode. We're talking about a pop culture phenomenon, which is what we do typically on this show, is things that people are passionate about or that are big or kind of taking over pop culture. We want to have a little conversation and discuss it, find out whether we should partake. And if we haven't partaken, we want to know a little bit more about it, right? We want to share that. We want to introduce new people.
Partaken, is that the right verb?
I don't know. But if we want to introduce new people to new things, invite them into fandoms and share fandoms with other people, and that's what we're here to do. And tonight, we are going to do that with K-pop Demon Hunters. So I'm very excited
so much
to talk about it. We'll get into that in just a moment. But before we do, a little bit of promotion. I do want to make sure we thank our friends over at Paramount, who have once again been so nice and sorry, I'm bringing this over so I can actually see it where I'm not looking into the away from the microphone. But Paramount has provided us with some movies again to give away, and we're very excited to give them away. So I have digital copies of the final Mission Impossible film, the Mission Impossible.
Don't say that.
The Final Reckoning. Well, the final mission with Tom Cruise as kind of the lead action guy, I think.
Acceptable. I accept.
Yeah, I think we're going to see more Mission Impossible. I think Tom Cruise will probably be a producer. He may even be Ethan Hunt, but he won't be hanging off the side of airplanes anymore, is my guess.
Correct. It's not going to be each new Mission Impossible movie will not be how can we kill Ethan Hunt this time.
Yeah.
It's going to be Ethan Hunt. I think you're right. I think he'll take on the Phelps role and be kind of like the mystery voice in the recordings and the one handing out the missions.
Yeah.
He might even be like the guy that Alec Baldwin played, where he's sort of involved a little bit more, but not.
Oh, I don't think he'll want that because Alec Baldwin's character also has to deal with the politicians, and Ethan Hunt would not do well with that.
Oh, Ethan Hunt does not like politicians.
I think he just needs to be the man behind the team kind of thing, and he'll send them on the missions. And occasionally show up maybe, as a Deus Ex Machina attached to the side of another plane. I don't know. But it's funny that you mentioned, you mentioned that the movies will not be about how to kill Ethan Hunt, because I saw an interview where they did talk about sometimes that's exactly how those films come to be. Before they've even scripted the mystery or the MacGuffin or the thing, they're just thinking about what massive stunts they can include in this particular, entry.
So they think of the stunt first,
and then they write
a
story around it. Yeah, it's like
that's okay.
Well, I'm sure they have ideas for the stories. Oh, we want this, or we want to fight AI, or we want to do this, or whatever. But then they're also like, oh, we want to throw you off of the Empire State Building with just a napkin as a parachute. And Tom Cruise is like, for sure, let's do that. And so they have to find
a reason.
Yes, now they have to find a reason in this adventure for him to do that.
So, Tom, the napkin has the secret code to opening up the enemy AI named Rascal. So you have to jump after it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there you go. And then that's how they come up with those stories. They've even filmed some of the stunts before they even know why they are doing the stunts. So the scripts come later.
Cruise, So Tom Cruise is like he doesn't know his motivation.
He trusts. Yeah. He trusts
for jumping the motorcycle over a cliff.
He trusts the script's going to be good and that he's ready to do it. He's just going to be out there.
And they have been. Chris McQuarrie.
They have been.
No, I can't.
Consistently.
I can't. Correct. I can't complain.
They're fun.
Complain. I've enjoyed all. I've enjoyed all the movies, especially 3 on. And yeah, so I can't complain. But I find it so funny that sometimes the stunts come first.
Yep.
That just boggles my mind.
Well, and let me read the copy here about it because we want to give some of these away to people. We've got some digital codes to give some away.
Yeah.
Our lives are the sum of our choices. Bring home Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning on digital now. Tom Cruise stars as Ethan Hunt in this action-packed thrill ride that critics are calling the biggest and wildest mission yet. I kind of agree. Go inside the incredible stunts with over 50 minutes of jaw-dropping extras when you buy on digital.
That's worth that. Yep. That's worth it.
Available at participating retailers, rated PG-13 from our friends at Paramount Pictures. And
thank you, Paramount.
Yeah, I do. So when I say I do think it is the biggest and wildest mission yet, because it's basically a sort of carbon copy of the last one. You know what I mean? Like we talked about this in private, but beat for beat, I feel like it followed the same story beats that the one right before it, part 1 of this finale, if you will. Although they didn't call it, they started it as part 1, but then they took it away. Yeah. Right. But yeah, I think it's very much followed a lot of the same beats, but dang, was it still fun. A lot of fun.
You know what?
So
they're definitely. I mean, the cinematography, the direction, the action, the stunts are all on par with the other ones. But you're right. I felt like the first half of it was very much, just a regurgitation of the last movie and almost every single thing that's happened because I guess they decided to tie everything back, all the MacGuffins, all the stuff from the previous
even
movies.
some characters come back, some unexpected characters, which I thought was kind of cool. I don't want to spoil one of them.
As soon as when one character showed up on the screen, and I swear I giggled like a little schoolboy because
I don't know if it's the same one, but
just the fact that they brought him, that's a hint.
Okay.
They brought him back.
It might be the same person then.
Yeah.
Anyway,
like a deep cut.
Yeah. Very cool. Yeah, it was some very cool
so
stuff.
Great.
Yeah, a lot of fun. Great film series. Check it out. And if you would like a copy, all you have to do is follow us on Instagram. And when you see me post the art for this, there's going to be an art post on this. So by the time you're listening to it, it's already out there. I've already done it. So run to Instagram immediately and find that on our Instagram page and like it and comment, and we will start drawing some names to give out some from the likes and comments that we get. Yes, exactly. What are you doing?
I'm drawing a name. Can you figure out which name it is? No, hold on.
Once again, Utah with the audio podcast.
I'm drawing the state of Utah. I'm drawing a name.
Why is this happening right now?
That doesn't count. Okay, never mind.
Oh, I see what you're saying. When I said I would draw a name,
you said we're good.
Yep. Sorry, I'm a little bit behind. We had a lot of technical difficulties before this show started, and my brain is fried. I am done. It's like I almost did, like when we were done fixing the audio, guys, before this episode started.
We almost said we're going to record another day.
I was like, I don't even know if I want to talk about this anymore. So for those of you who listen and follow us on a regular basis, our last episode with the Cleveland Guardians, there was some major peakage going on with my microphone, and we could not figure it out. And I've been working on it here and there since then. We haven't been able to record an episode for a while, not because of the audio, just other things. But then, Monday we got together to record an episode, and I listened to it. It was the same audio issue, even though everything sounded fine to us here in the environment,
in
right?
the studio.
Yes.
Yeah.
But once we got it back from the cloud and doing all the things that it does, mine was really peaked. I think we've figured out what was doing it now.
It was the government.
Yeah, exactly. We need to get Ethan Hunt on that right away.
Birds aren't real.
but hopefully it's working, because I'll be darned. We've been talking now for what? 10 minutes.
Over an hour.
We're 10 minutes into this show. No, I mean into this episode.
Oh, in this episode.
And
yes.
if we get to an hour and have finished our conversation and I listen to this back and that thing is audio again, I don't know if I'm going to do this podcast anymore.
No, that's not good.
I might be done forever. Audio technical problems are driving me crazy.
I might call 911 for you.
Yeah.
You know,
everything
you
sounds
do a
fine.
welfare check.
Everything sounds fine. Please let it be working. And the things we talked about are not on, so I think we're good. All right.
Okay.
Let's move on. All right.
Yes.
So the topic of choice tonight, what we are talking about, is a pop culture phenomenon that kind of sprung out of nowhere. Nobody expected it to be no one expected it, including
Not
the people
Sony.
Who made it. Well, maybe
Sony
not the people who made
certainly.
it, but Sony, the distributors.
Sony, they didn't expect this.
They certainly
Netflix
didn't.
probably didn't either.
Nope.
But Netflix is very happy about it, and Sony might not so be happy about it.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and play the trailer real quick, and then we're going to talk about K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yes.
And we can't hear it. It's muted. That's why. Hold on. There's something in the way of my monitor. I can't see the mute. All right.
Oh, there it was.
Here's the trailer for K-pop Demon Hunters.
It's time.
Picked.
The world will know you as pop stars.
Pop stars.
But you will be much more than that. You will be hunters.
Hey, this is the men's bathhouse. Get out of here.
They're stealing the souls of our fans? Let's send those disgusting demons back to the depths where they belong!
Yeah! The faces. Yeah! I mean, it's got that anime vibe
Let's get
too.
battle ready.
I can destroy the hunters for good. It's time for a new strategy.
You're all I can think of. Every drop I drink of. You're my soda pop, my little soda pop.
The demon boy band? They're coming after the fans.
You're my soda pop, my little soda pop.
The Sasha Boy!
Let's go get these guys. You think we're just gonna let you steal our fans? You're gonna have to fight us for them.
Yeah, this plane's trashed. Everything is at stake.
It's a takedown, so sweet, so easy on the eyes, but hideous on the inside. Whole life spinning lies, but you can't hide, baby. Nice try.
My girls twice.
Nice.
That was a long trailer.
It was. I did not anticipate that when I decided to do it on an audio podcast.
And I guess there is a hyphen between the K and the pop. It's just stylized into the P.
Yeah, but if you look at the actual title of the
On Netflix, it's K-pop,
yeah, even on this trailer, it says K-pop all is one word.
which is fine. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
And, and it's inconsistent because I'm seeing it as
Both
capital KP
dash.
op,
Or
and then
just
capital K lowercase p op.
Either way works.
I don't.
I mean,
We need a
as
style
long-
guide for these new, Korean drama, K dramas.
Well,
like,
as
is it a
long-
capital
as-
K? Is it a capital D?
Oh, is it
K-pop? Like,
is it K drama or K drama?
yeah, exactly.
K drama.
We don't know where the emphasis goes.
Yes, it could be on the syllable.
Which syllable though?
I don't know. As long as that substitute teacher isn't there, otherwise it'd be KP Op. KP Op.
Yeah.
Present.
That trailer, I mean, first of all, for a movie just coming straight to Netflix, like that, the action and the adventure we just watched in that trailer, it seems like it has no business like being as good as it is. It's so good. Like it's so really, impressive.
Yes. I mean, I don't think people realize that, I think they finished this movie, or they were working on this movie back in 2021. I mean, it took years.
Yeah.
And it just for it to be released this summer, and to be as successful and as much of a phenomenon as it is, I don't think people realize that they've been working on this for a while. It looks fantastic. That trailer just shows you how fantastic it is. Like you said, the action. I like how it moves. It's kind of a genre hopper, right? You've got some of like supernatural stuff going. You've got some anime stuff there, some hints of anime things with their faces and expressions, which I think is hilarious.
Yeah.
I love the drops of humor in it. There's some very sincere and serious moments too. It's just, I'm a big fan. You can tell.
Yeah.
I have a t-shirt.
Yeah, you're already wearing the shirt. The merch is already at the shoe household. Like, didn't take very long.
No, you know what? And it's that darn Netflix shop is so tempting. I want a Derpy Tiger plush, but it's like $50.
Is that an official name for
It's an official, yes. So they're the two animal characters, the six-eyed magpie and the tiger, are both from Korean mythology. But yes, the official names of the characters are Sussy Magpie and Derpy Tiger.
I love it. So, and let's face it, like you were already a K-pop fan before this movie even came out. Like this is a community, a fandom that you already been a part of. You've been to some live concerts.
I've been to a few.
Yeah. And so that in that situation, like this movie had a built-in audience with fans of that particular genre of music. But what we're seeing is this movie just taking over. Like it has become...
It's become a mainstream phenomenon.
Yeah.
Like its appeal crosses various, demographics. Like you said, just the fact that number one, it has K-pop in its title. Number two, that one of the most successful K-pop girl groups, Twice, has a couple of songs on the soundtrack and are affiliated with this movie. And that also, behind the scenes, a lot of the songwriters and producers of these songs are also big in the K-pop industry. Already, you've got a built-in fandom, a built-in audience, like myself, who know about K-pop, are in the K-pop fandom, are already going to be fans of this and want to see it. I admit, I knew about it because I knew Twice had a song on it. I didn't know about the movie through Netflix. I knew it through the music and through K-pop. But you're right. I mean, it's not just K-pop fans that are loving this or obsessed with this. It's little kids, adults, middle-aged parents, grandparents who may not even know what K-pop is, or the only thing that they know about K-pop is BTS or Blackpink, which happen to be arguably two of the biggest K-pop groups, in recent memory. So, but I think that just shows you and tells you how good the product is. I mean, it's broad appeal. And Netflix is loving every minute of it.
I know. And I think that's what I find interesting about it is that Sony produced this. And, some of the same people that were behind, the Spider-Verse movies.
Yeah.
Which explains why the animation is so good. Like some of that, or at least, at least the money behind it, I would assume Sony paid for some of this to be produced.
Yeah.
And so, but I think that Sony probably was like, this is a great movie, but the only people who are going to see this are the K-pop fans out there. And so they were like, we need a different distribution channel. We can't fill theaters with K-pop fans. And then Netflix came along and said, well, we'll take it. and then proved that you can fill theaters with K-pop fans because it became one of the number one.
It was the number one movie in movie theaters this past weekend, the sing-along version.
Yeah. No, I mean,
and it was only in 1,700 movie theaters.
Yeah. So I was going to say, granted, it's not the same weekend Superman or Fantastic Four came out,
right? But
things
still,
like that. But it was in less theaters than some of the other movies, and it didn't have the same kind of competition, but it still did extremely well. And I think that's just Sony did not expect that was going to be the case.
I don't think anybody did. Yeah, and
well,
so
obviously
Sony,
Netflix did after the initial.
Once they saw, like within a month, I think they saw the streaming numbers go crazy. Like right now, as of this recording, it has become the number one most viewed movie on Netflix with over almost 240 million views or streams. The last movie, it usurped Red Notice, which had 236 million views, or 231 million views. So K-pop Demon Hunters is now the number one, is the most viewed Netflix movie on Netflix. The first Netflix original movie to be number one at the box office in theaters. It also, it's broken so many records. It's the first movie soundtrack to have 4 songs in the Billboard Top 10 charts. No other movie soundtrack has done that. Now, granted, things are a little different now because of streaming. The whole album was released at once. Back in the day, a lot of times
it took a while.
Right, it would take a while. They would release singles one at a time, and you could only hear them on the radio, right? Mm-hmm. So things are a little bit different, but still. Not since Waiting to Exhale has there been a movie soundtrack that had as many hits in the Billboard charts. And that was back in, the mid-'90s?
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, insane. First, Huntrix, the fictional girl group in the movie, the first girl group to have a number one hit on Billboard charts since Destiny's Child back in 2001.
That's crazy.
It's it's
and I want to get into that because I know you probably know a little bit about the actors and the singers that are in the movie. I want to talk about that, but before we actually get into that, I want to, based on what we just talked about, I wonder. It brings up an interesting question, as it was number one at the box office this weekend. Do you think it would have been had Sony released it in theaters first? And are we seeing a new trend where it streams first and gains an audience, and then I keep adding more things to my theory,
and
then is it because it's a musical essentially, which really drives communities together to sing along? The sing along thing is becoming a huge thing. The Wicked sing-along was massive.
Wicked sing-along was massive.
They've done it with a couple of other movies since they re-released Frozen as a sing-along. They re-released some of these others, and they've done pretty well. So that's a phenomenon all on its own. So I'm wondering, what combination, what mix of, kind of the perfect storm that occurred for them that might have been, and what opinion you might have on that.
Well, I agree with you. It definitely, this is like the unicorn, the lightning in a bottle that movie studios would just strive for, right? Because Sony had this property, and ironically, it was an original property. It wasn't like something licensed that Sony created. So this is something that Sony outright owned, original IP. But for whatever reason, I'm not sure the person that made this decision is still working at Sony. But somebody at Sony decided that they didn't want to take the risk of distributing this. They spent, I've read, they spent about $100 million in total on the production of this movie. And they decided that they didn't think they could recoup enough of that if they did a theatrical release. And so they shopped it around, and Netflix said, yeah, okay, we'll buy it, and we'll give you something on the back end, which ended up right now, I think, being about $20 million. So Sony has gotten about $20 million out of this phenomenon that's happened since Netflix has released it. Now, with all the sequel talk, Netflix has got some leverage, but Sony's definitely going to be not doing the same deal they did with this movie when the sequel is being for the sequel. They're obviously going to say, oh no, we need a bigger chunk of the pie, because now we know the pie is so big that they didn't know. Because all of the merchandising and everything else, Sony gets a small percentage of merchandising of the sing-along box office. Netflix is getting the vast majority of that. So I don't know. We'll see. But I agree. I think the two things that made the theatrical sing-along release so successful was, one, the music. I think without the songs, or if the songs weren't as good, I don't think people would be compelled to go out to actually see it in the theater. And I do think you're right. I think for some properties, seeing success on a streaming platform can translate to at least one or two really good weekends at the box office. But again, I think it's the sing-along aspect of it. I think that's, for me, I feel like that's the key. The sing-along from streaming to the movie theater is what's going to make it successful. Because there's a certain, like you said, there's a certain communal sort of group, tribe, belonging sort of feeling when you're in a movie theater and everybody is enthusiastic and singing the songs along with you.
Yeah.
You know, there's a certain interaction that you don't get if it's just a movie without music. And I don't know, I don't think like a Star Wars movie could go from Disney Plus and then be popular and then get released in the theater. I feel like not as many people would be compelled to go see it.
Yeah.
But that's just me. I don't know.
You mean if it was initially, like if they turned around and put Skeleton Crew
like if they made,
or
right, if they made like
Mandalorian and Grogu is coming directly to theaters, they're not going to do Disney first and then go into theaters, right?
Correct,
so, yeah.
Right. I feel like
I think it's a different
Mandalorian and
a different algorithm. I think you want to flip it in that situation.
Correct. Like Mandalorian and Grogu, if they released it on Disney Plus first and then said, "Hey, we're going to put it in the theater next," I don't think it'll be I don't think it would be number one at the box office for whatever weekend.
Yeah.
And I think it's because unless Mandalorian and Grogu is a musical, in which case maybe. Can you imagine a Star Wars sing along?
How does Pedro sing? I don't even know if I've seen or heard. See, and does Grogu sing? I think is the real question.
Well, yes, that's really and that would bring people to the theater. Well, but then they would already have seen it on the streaming thing, so maybe not.
Yeah, so I do think that you're right. The musical aspect is huge. I've been following a lot of different threads on Threads, which if you're not following us on Instagram and Threads, that's where I spend a lot of time like putting out some of the stuff that we're doing here, because there's been some interesting conversations on there. So I've been having a lot of cool conversations with folks on there. So if you are on Instagram, you should also get Threads and just why not? It's easy. You already signed up for it. You just activate it.
It's already there.
Yeah, it's part of Instagram. So, but I've noticed that there were several threads in a row of people saying, or one in particular that I recall that said that they were disappointed in the theater because they expected everybody to show up with lights and like they were at a K-pop concert.
They expected a K-pop crowd.
And I knew that you had gone to the theater with your lights because you knew that is your thing, right?
Yep,
and so, I respond to them. I'm like, I think what you're seeing is like, I wouldn't have brought lights if I'd gone to the theater because even though I do like the movie, and I was like, I wouldn't have necessarily known. That's a new fandom. And so once again, as we love here on World Gone Geek, like, gatekeeping is not something that we agree with.
Correct.
We should be thrilled when someone new has kind of stumbled into our fandom and is
100%.
Experiencing it for the first time. And they were. I'm not picking on the person who said that. They were like, yeah, no, that's great. They were just kind of hoping for more of that concert experience. And I'm like, so I'm thinking, probably if they do this again with the sequels, you'll probably see that. I think this past weekend, you saw a lot of people show up at the theater who just who saw the Netflix thing and were like, this is awesome. Went to the theater and were like, just didn't know like that community yet. Like they're not part of that fandom to be able to grasp or even know what to bring. And
absolutely. Well, yeah.
But you should embrace them and hand them a light stick and say, let's go.
Well,
right?
I did bring two, but I get one of them was for Taiko.
Yeah, of course.
But no, you're absolutely right. I have seen online where some people, pardon me, there are K-pop fans who are, the fans of the movie going to the sing-alongs and I guess for lack of a better word, complaining about how, I'm here at the, I was at the sing-along and there were some people with light sticks, but the other people just didn't like, quote, get it or like weren't, quote, part of the same sort of group. And I don't think they meant it in the gatekeeping way.
No, I don't think so either.
Right. But I think you're absolutely right. K-pop Demon Hunters has such mainstream appeal. And I think a lot of it is because even though K-pop is in the title and it is based very much in, Korean culture, the music groups happen to be K-pop groups and the songs are very K-pop. I don't think you have to be a fan. You have to be a K-pop fan first in order to enjoy this movie. And obviously that's true. I mean, look at you.
Right.
You like this movie, and you like other than BTS, you probably didn't know much about.
I mean, I know some of the bands because Rachel listens to them. I know.
Yes.
Obviously, because I'm friends with you, that you go to these concerts
as well.
But but I don't listen to them. Probably the only K-pop song that I've listened to a lot would be Gangnam Style back in the day, right? I mean, that was a massive hit across the world.
I think it still is the most watched YouTube video.
It might be. I don't know. But, that is until this episode of our show.
Well, then this will be the most viewed. This, like,
right.
Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, Psy, forget it.
Yeah. Well,
we don't need them.
The very fact that you just mentioned Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce means that
that's
going to
put us up because of the algorithm.
Yeah, yes. And the algorithm's going to help us there. So.
Hey, all I'm saying is that, the Kelceys still have a house here. Travis and Jason both are graduates of Cleveland Heights High School, which my son goes to currently. And my daughter happens to go to the University of Cincinnati. Oh, which, by the way, the both Kelce brothers attended as well.
Yeah.
And so I'm very, I'm like 6 degrees of separation from TNT.
It might be a little more than 6.
Okay, so maybe.
But I get what you're saying.
10,
it's the Cleveland connection. We all,
maybe it's 10 to the 6th.
Yeah.
But anyways, we'll see. We'll see if we can get.
Well, congrats to both those two young people. I wish them the best.
Yes.
I hope
they're very happy.
I would love for it to work out because it's the odds are against them in that particular world that they're living in, right? In the celebritydom.
It's true.
But
both of them being.
I think it's the worst thing in the world to root against that kind of thing. I want those relationships. I want marriages to work out. I don't care who they are, unless it's abusive. Obviously, we want to protect people. But
yeah, how can you root against happiness?
Please, let's be happy for these folks. We don't have to talk about it all the time. I get that people get inundated with it. They stopped the Cracker Barrel news story on LinkedIn, I think. So that's all I cared about. Let's just stop talking about Cracker Barrel. I'll take Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce over Cracker Barrel any day.
I don't even know why that's a story.
Exactly. So
come on, just I don't remember this much hoopla when Target changed their company logo to be like all white versus a red bullseye. So whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, back to K-pop Demon Hunters.
Anyways,
we had to get the algorithm working in our favor there for the
boom,
and we've done it because K-pop is huge. K-pop Demon Hunter is really huge right now, and now we also got Taylor Swift in there. We even mentioned Cracker Barrel, so hopefully this episode is going to be the most.
You know what? This is going to be the most viewed episode
because that's all people are talking about. That's what the world is talking about right now, which is actually kind of sad because there's some crazy things going on in the world right now. But that's not what this show is about.
This is not what
this show is about. The dumb things that we love. Right. Not dumb. They're not.
We are the distraction.
Yeah. Exactly. We're part of the problem, I think, but that's okay.
But in a good way?
I think so. I hope so. We're trying to bring positivity into this community and these communities, and so I hope that's helpful. But one of the other things, so I do want to get into a little bit about like who these people are, because I have done no research. Like I literally saw the movie one time so far. I do want to see it again because
you have some homework.
I was watching it while I was doing things, which is how I watch a lot of stuff. Unfortunately, I'm working and watching. And I'm enjoying the music and kind of, digging it. There's, I like some songs better than others. And let me.
Oh, sure.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest here, okay? And I hope I don't upset any fans of this. But
hold on, let me sit down. Oh, I am sitting down.
Here's my one thing. I think one of the weakest songs in the movie is just because it's so. And maybe this is why. Maybe I'm changing my opinion instantly as I'm giving it. Because now I'm arguing against it. So the one song that kind of I like, but it's just such syrupy, that typical soda pop, right? I'm like, how is that the song that the demons are able to, just maintain everybody's? But then I thought, now that more I think about it, like that makes even more sense. That it's the most banal song gets the most love from everybody. And
it's infectious.
And there's more deeper and more, musically robust songs out there that don't get as much attention, right, lyrically, as the syrupy pop, some of the other stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like there's songs in that movie that are way better than that one.
Oh, absolutely. I agree.
But I guess now it's making sense. That's what the masses are drawn to for whatever reason.
Correct.
Because they're idiots. No, I'm kidding. I'm just playing. Because I get drawn to that too. It's an earworm, right? It gets stuck in your ear.
Yes.
So I guess it makes sense. I started to argue against it, but then I convinced myself otherwise. You literally watched me change my own mind.
You were able to reason yourself.
That was I don't know that that's ever happened on camera before. I've definitely talked myself out of some weird opinions in the past, but I don't think I've ever done it live.
Its tail.
Yes.
The Salat has eaten its tail.
It's a fun song. I'm not saying it's bad.
Look, it is.
It's just not as good as the others.
You hit upon everything that they wanted that song to do, right? It's infectious. It's an earworm. It's really, if you dissect it, not necessarily a great song. It is very superficial, very poppy, very sugary. It's soda pop. It's exactly what the Saja Boys needed to get attention of the fans and to sort of like hypnotize them with something shiny and glittery, to get them towards the demon side of things. And I agree. It's soda pop actually is not one of my favorite songs from the movie. The whole sound, I mean, all the songs are good, but soda pop is, I would say lowest for me on the scale.
What's your favorite one?
Ooh, I would say my favorite one, and this is going to be a hot take because I know a lot of people, everyone loves Golden, understandably, because Golden is a fantastic song. But for me, my favorite song out of the movie is the last one. This is what it sounds like. And I think it's because I feel like the lyrics are very powerful. Not only for... one of the great things about all the songs, except for, Soda Pop, sort of, not really, is that they all, have purpose in the story. They're not just a song that they're singing. The lyrics of the songs seem to go along with the plot or where they are, whatever situation they're in. And for This Is What It Sounds Like, I think the message of Rumi finally coming to grips with her identity, who she is, that she's half demon, half human, and that's okay, that she doesn't have to be one or the other, that she is okay as herself, is a huge message that, not only is very important for the character in the movie, but I think is also a really important message for people to take and apply to themselves, especially when I see like so many children loving this movie And I hope the children kind of internalize these positive messages from some of these songs. So that's my favorite. Golden is actually third for me because I like how it's done. I feel like the opening of this movie is fantastic. Like it's such a great way to start the movie.
Yeah.
Is to have like a quick little exposition of this is the history of the music groups that through history have created this Hanmoon, this barrier to protect Earth from demons, and you are the latest iteration. And then boom, they're on a plane going to their concert and right into song fighting demon. I thought the intro to the movie was fantastic.
Yeah, the song where they're fighting the demons at the beginning is, that might be only because, again, I've only seen it once, so I haven't gotten to dive into the lyrics or really understand, but I loved the action and the music and how that all played out.
Everything was so put together so well.
And I think that's why this movie is successful, to be honest with you, because I didn't know what to expect. My son watched it. He was loving it. He's been talking his friends into watching it. I'm like, what is this? Why? This does not seem like his kind of thing. But he loves it. A couple of my daughters were talking about it too. And then I'm like, okay, so this must be interesting. Let me check it out.
Good. Yeah.
And they were really needed to hook me. Right? Because I didn't know. I was like, I don't know what this doesn't seem like it's something I would like. I like Demon Hunter movies and stuff, but I'm like, I don't know. I'm not really into this kind of music. And it's just, maybe I won't. And that hooked me. I was immediately like, okay, this is fun. What is happening right now is making me very happy. And that's what you need to do. Right. And I'm just smiling through the whole first part of it going, okay, this, even the silly stuff. And I've always had an issue, even in anime, which I also love anime, but even when they do the goofy faces and Teen Titans, old,
sometimes it's too much
cartoon. No, but I'm just like, okay, what, I'm just like, but it's starting to grow on me because I'm, like I said, I start watching a lot more anime and I'm like, okay, I'm starting to like this now. But in this, there's something endearing about the way they used it. I think when her eyes turn into the corn and the butter hits them, that was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in a movie. It's just the weirdest thing, but it's still fun. It still made me laugh.
It's funny.
Yeah,
it's funny.
It got me. I was like, okay, and it was a unique way of using that. And when you think about it, you're like, it's not uniquely anime because you think about the stuff I loved as a kid and Looney Tunes and the ridiculous faces that they would pull when they would be like, and their tongues fly out and their eyes
tongues
and
roll out.
They
bug out.
This is just another kind of way of exaggerating that.
Yep.
And the corn thing made me very Looney Tunes, right? Like when they're stuck on a desert island, they see the other guy as a turkey leg or whatever, that kind of stuff. That's what it reminded me of. And I'm like, you know what? This is Looney Tunes for a new generation kind of. This is just kind of, it's the same humor. So why am I not open to that?
Yeah.
And now this is what World Gone Geek is all about, right? We're opening ourselves up to trying to understand why people love the thing that they love. And we're not always going to come out on the same side. At the end of the day, I might be like, yeah, I like this, but I'm not going to start grabbing light sticks and running out to the sing-alongs. That's not probably going to be my thing, but I'll watch a sequel in a heartbeat because I enjoyed it so much. So I think it's just finding that common ground, the things that we do like, figuring out why people enjoy it. You know what I mean? And then you know what? The best part of that is letting them enjoy it.
Right.
That's the
what
key.
Everybody should do.
It's like,
that's what everybody should do.
I learn why they enjoy it. And then, I let them enjoy it. And then if I want to partake, I'll partake as well,
Right.
Right. And that's for anything. I have a lot of friends who don't understand why, I like Star Wars so much or I have Star Wars friends who don't understand why I like football so much, right?
Yeah,
they don't understand why we watch. You watch sports, stop it. But again, I can tell you why I love football and why it appeals to me and why I watch it, regularly. And then now you understand my passion, and then you just let me enjoy it. You don't have to love it. That's okay.
You don't have to love it. You don't have to judge. You don't have to do anything. You can just move along.
It is what it is. Let's celebrate the things we both love,
too.
which is Star Wars in that situation of some of my friends. So it's all good. That's what we're about here. World Gun Geek. We're trying to understand what people love about it, share that with other people. And then maybe we've just invited new people into that fandom. Maybe we've recruited us into a new fandom. I don't know. We'll see how these things work out. But this is a perfect example.
We would love to be the K-pop demon hunters of other fandoms.
Sure. So tell me a little bit about the three actresses or singers. So I guess here's my question. Are these K-pop singers who also act? Are these actors that also sang and they hired them? Like how did we get the Huntrix band together?
So from what I understand, this movie has done what a lot of movies have done, animated movies have done, is where they have a voice actor to do the speaking voice and then a separate person singer to do the singing voice. Disney does it all the time, right?
Yep.
So this is not something that's new.
I know they're doing it less and less now. Like they're hiring a lot of Broadway folks to do some of these.
Sure.
But it's been a thing for a long time.
For some things, they can find people that can do that.
Yeah.
In this case, they've got different voice actors to do the speaking voices for the three main characters, Rumi, Zoe, and Mira. And then they have also three singing voices. Now, the voice actors, the speaking voices, they're all actresses in one way, shape, or form. Arden Cho, actually, who plays Rumi, some people may remember her from Teen Wolf, that ill-fated TV series that happened. I think it was on the CW.
Actually, it stuck around for a little while.
Did it?
Yeah.
I don't remember a lot of seasons of it, so I wasn't.
It went
I
quite
wasn't
a few.
an avid watcher. Did it?
Yeah,
Wow.
I was surprised.
So-
I think it started to struggle, and then it just found an audience. I don't remember where it ended up doing
Nice.
that, but yeah, I didn't know
Nice,
she was
but,
in that.
she-
I'm gonna have to watch it again. It was
she-
a long time ago, and I watched that.
Yeah. She. I think her first big television role was on Teen Wolf.
Six
And-
seasons.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah.
All right, that's more than I thought. So she's the other two voice actresses aren't as well known, but the singers are all one way, shape, or form heavily involved in K-pop. EJ, the singer, singing voice of Rumi, she has an interesting story because she moved to South Korea, to Seoul. Seoul, South Korea. Oh my gosh, pardon me. I get so choked up. Because she moved to Seoul to chase her dream of being a K-pop idol. And it didn't happen for her because she was part of one of the big entertainment companies there, SM Entertainment. They have a lot of K-pop groups that are fairly successful. Like Red Velvet is one of their big ones. They have a couple of boy groups that are also successful. But EJ started as a trainee at SM Entertainment with the hopes and dreams of debuting as part of a idol group or as a soloist. And years went by and she was not chosen to debut with various groups. And it got to a point where the company said, I'm sorry, you're talented, but you're just too old. We think you're too old to debut in a girl group or as a soloist. So, sorry. So the company basically told her, you're too old. We can't help you. So she pivoted, and instead of becoming an idol, she became a songwriter. And she has written a number of songs for other groups that have become big hits, and groups that include Blackpink, BTS, Red Velvet, aespa. So not just older groups, but newer, more recent groups. And so she's been a successful songwriter for many years now. And then she was asked to help write songs for K-pop Demon Hunters. So she co-wrote all of the hits on the soundtrack.
Oh.
And so the directors of the movie loved her voice so much, they said, you know what? Instead of just doing demos, why don't you just be the singing voice for the main character? And she was blown away. huge honor for her, and full circle, because now she's gone from dreaming of being a K-pop idol herself and having like #1 hits on the charts, to being a songwriter, to now having #1 hits on the charts as a singer of a fictional K-pop group. I mean, it's fantastic, and you know, and to see her, she's very humble. She's so thankful and excited about all the success. And the other two, Audrey Nina and Ray Ami, also both K-pop artists who haven't found huge success on their own, but also have been in the K-pop industry for a few years. And so this is also big for them too, because, I mean, to have multiple songs in the top 10 of Billboard, that's insane.
Yeah. So do you think this becomes a tour? Do you think we're going to see
oh my gosh,
the three of them on stage? And with the incredible animated, you know, like scenes behind them, and they perform live and stuff like that.
You know what? I can only imagine that there are talks about all these different permutations and combinations of people from the cast of the movie to somehow tour or do shows. I would love to see real life Huntrix sing their songs live. That'd be amazing.
You would think that would be a massive
Right? You would think that
crowd would come to see that.
You would think that that's like a no-brainer,
even
right?
if it's just K-pop fans. You know what I mean? Even if you
Correct.
don't get the mainstream audience, that would be a large.
I think that would be, you know, an arena filling event. But you know, they're all very busy.
Yeah.
Well, now.
Well, now, yeah, for sure.
But it's also great to see, like, there are like current K-pop idols, K-pop stars, members of BTS have done covers of songs from this movie. There are a number of K-pop stars that are doing covers of songs from this movie. So to have that recognition,
yeah,
from like the industry that you came from as a songwriter, it's got to be cool.
Do you need to get a drink of water or something?
I might have to. Hold on a second.
Like, we could pause, or I may just leave this in.
I'm good.
We're raw. We're raw here on World Gun Geek. We are who we are.
That's right. We are unlike, you know. Hey, look. One of the things that, and this is something that really also felt close to home for me as an Asian American. One of the things that Celine said in terms of handling Rumi's half and half, you know, half demon, half hunter thing, was that, you know, our faults and fears must never be seen. You know, we got to hide our faults. We have to hide our fears. You can never show that kind of weakness to anyone. That is a type of message that, you know, my immigrant parents instilled in me as a child growing up. Like, you have to be better than everybody else. You can't show any faults. You have to be better. You just have to be, and if, you know, and to see that kind of familial theme in this movie in that way, really was compelling to me, and I think my kids, well, the only other kids that have seen this movie are my daughter and my youngest son. I would like to think that they would take to heart the message of, you know, we love all of them, not just parts of them, and we don't feel that they need to hide any part of them. They shouldn't feel any shame for anything that they don't feel, you know. They may be half Asian, but that doesn't mean they're any less to us, you know. Mm-hmm. So I was getting a little sappy there, sorry.
No, that's
this movie's awesome.
That's what matters. That's the kind of stuff that, you know, I mean, a good movie is going to reflect things that, you know, make people feel. And again, I think that's what makes this movie unique. It looks like, from the trailer, you're like, that's a bunch of flashing lights and crazy music and swords
and
flying.
Killing and swords.
But there's a very emotional and deep story going on as well, and it's compelling. And I think that, and I'm glad you kind of shared that. Also, because I ran across on Threads another
thread
who was talking about some similar themes that you were just. So I'd love to get your thoughts on some of these. I'm going to read what she said.
Sure.
This is Francesca Douglas Franco. She has a master's in forensic psychology and has worked in law enforcement intelligence, and has also founded a mental health nonprofit that serves survivors of human trafficking. So awesome what she's doing out there. But she shared 3 points that as a parent, I mean, my kids are all older now, but, and so are yours for the most part, but
yeah, my youngest is 15.
Yes. So. But this was what she shared about as a parent watching this movie with her children, I thought was fascinating. There's 3 points that she brings up. And the first one, that her kids, kind of were grateful for. And this is kind of a funny one to me, but like, I totally agree with it. But the first one was no kissing scenes. Like they didn't instantly fall in love.
Correct.
It was, it's clear that their relationship is based on an emotional connection, not a romantic one. And including their duet, she says, she's quoting from her.
Oh yeah. Free.
The duet is literally
song.
about unconditional acceptance and healing together. And it would be problematic for him because he's thousands of years old, I think, and she's not, but
at least a couple hundred.
Yeah. So that would have been, but, why this matters. She has a why this matters for each of these. And I think this is important.
Oh, okay.
So many movies, shows, and music for kids normalize unhealthy relationships. And this makes it harder for them to spot red flags for predators and toxic people, and arguably grooms them for these relationships. So seeing a movie that has this positive male-female relationship that it doesn't have to be romantic, right? Not that there maybe weren't attractions going on there. He's a handsome guy. She's a good, a pretty girl. I mean, you don't know, but that wasn't what it was about. And that's that is I think very refreshing to see in a movie, that you don't have to have them get together romantically to have a compelling duo of any kind in film.
Right. I agree.
So
right, because a lot of times when you have a couple in a movie, one of them is I think of Grease. I don't know why I'm thinking of Grease, but in Grease, I love the movie. I love the musical. It has some issues because of it at the time that it was made, but like I've always had, for whatever reason, I always had a problem with Sandra Dee feeling like she had to change completely.
Yeah.
She had to make a whole 180 of who she was, her character, her identity, her personality, in order to get Danny to like her. Well, that to me has always been an issue.
Agreed.
And you see that a lot in a lot of movies where...
And sort of defense of Grease, I will say that he did the same. He thought he had to change himself too.
True.
And but in the end, I think they both discovered that they were both wrong. And if that's the lesson, I don't know, maybe that's not the lesson, but if that's the lesson, great, because that's true. Like neither of you really had to change. It turns out at the end of the day, you were already, loved each other. It was fine.
Right. It turns out at the end of the day,
because they were trying to do it for each other. It's almost like the Pina Colada song, except that's problematic on its own. But you know what I'm saying? Like it turns out like they're both like, we're looking for something else, and it turns out that something else they were looking for really was them all along. I don't know. I'm not going to defend Grease anymore. Let's move on.
But yes,
I know what you're saying, though. You're right.
Yeah. K-pop Demon Hunters has a very, very healthy couple. Kind of at the core of the story, which is nice. Absolutely agree.
We could do a whole episode of the problems with the Pina Colada song. I have a lot of opinions about that song.
Just logistically,
right?
Never mind the other stuff. Just logistically speaking. But anyways, moving along.
Okay, the next thing was the importance of authenticity, and I think you kind of mentioned this a little bit in your own kind of reasons for liking the movie. But when Rumi asked her adoptive mom why she couldn't just love her, that was powerful.
All of her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way that hiding her patterns was killing her on the inside, and the way that she became more powerful when she embraced her light and her dark.
Yep. And another thing too that I found very powerful, and this is very subtle, in that confrontation between Celine and Rumi, Celine couldn't look at Rumi. She couldn't look at Rumi as her, her whole self. She couldn't even look Rumi in the eye. She had to look down because she couldn't bring herself, for whatever reason, to love all of her. And just that subtle direction, that hit me. I'm like, oh my gosh, she can't even look at her. And yeah, the whole message, you have to accept yourself, fix yourself before you can do anything else.
Yeah. And as Francesca says, why it matters, the feeling that something is inherently wrong with us is the most dangerous feeling in the world. It's what leads to hopelessness and unaliving, I will say, to go with the internet terms. Movies like this make it easy to have important mini conversations without freaking out your kids. And so that gave another opportunity for conversation. So,
no, that's true.
And I'm going to give her,
I agree with her.
I'm going to give out her Instagram in case people want to follow her, and her website, and it'll all be in the show notes as well. Because there's some great insights that she has in here, I think.
No, absolutely.
And here,
that just.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I was saying that just goes to show that this isn't just a throwaway action movie sort of thing. They actually, the directors and the writers of this, they were I could tell that they're very invested in the story, and they wanted to make something that was multi-layered and not just cool action or, K-pop. It was really well done. Really well done.
And so her third point is that she believes that the demons represent our own shame, guilt, and insecurities. So Zoe's fear of being too much and not enough, Mira's fear of not belonging in a family, Bobby's fear of failure. And why that matters, it opened up a discussion with her 11-year-old about how it's important to pay attention to our own thoughts, and that just because we think something doesn't make it true. At the end of the day, these are the demons we each have to slay. I like that she put it that way.
Our own inner demons. Yeah.
So fighting that kind of self-doubt.
Right. Don't give in to your intrusive thoughts. Is that what they say? Is that what they call them? Yep. No. Very, very insightful. All true. I agree with everything that she said.
And I'm going to share one more quote from her here. And this is something that I have believed as a dad for a long time. But she says, I don't believe in raising kids in a bubble, which is why I'm teaching mine how to consider what they're consuming. And I think that's the key. So many parents just kind of plop their kids in front of what's on television these days and don't
just let it go.
Have a conversation about what it is as well. And she's like, to be clear, I'm not sitting here ruining the movie with my commentary, which my kids will attest that I've paused the movie many times, but usually to tell them some ridiculous
it's
trivia.
More about the movie, though.
Yeah,
it's not necessarily.
Exactly.
Right.
So I'm guilty of that. But no, she's not ruining the movie with commentary. But afterwards, when the kids talk about it, then it's like, okay, let's bring up some of these things. Did you notice this? And I think that's what we should be having conversations with our kids about these things, to make sure that they are processing it properly, because this is, as she said earlier in the other one, like some of these negative stereotypes or some of these negative thoughts are coming from those movies as well. And we come away and we all enjoyed the movie, but we don't necessarily know that our kid is also thinking about that negative part, or even ourselves. Right. We need to, it's not just as a parent. If you're not a parent, you need to be asking yourself, what am I thinking about? What did they really just say to me? No movie is just, or show is just spitting out entertainment for the sake of entertainment. Everything is trying to say something. And whether you agree with what they're saying or not, it is trying to push some sort of idea or a worldview or a thought process to get you considering things. Sometimes it's lame and just very benign, and sometimes it's very serious that they want, you know what I'm saying? but
Right,
they're
right,
all
very true.
trying to say something. So take a moment and just digest what you've watched for more than just, the pretty lights, I guess. Right. And I think it's important. And this type of movie, I like movies that have the pretty lights, but are also trying to tell you something. That's why I love Thunderbolts so much. And I don't want to get into a whole review of Thunderbolts, but I know have you seen it?
I have seen it, and I agree. Thunderbolts, like,
oh my gosh,
surface,
I cried.
On the surface, right? On the surface, you think it's like, oh, it's another Marvel movie.
Yeah,
it's got
and it's all there. All the Marvel stuff is there,
right? But at the core of it, the way that they represent, broken people, so to speak, people that have underlying issues that they need to deal with and face. And the way they handle it, and the story arc, and the way you see these characters sort of come to terms with these things is fantastic.
Yeah.
Like I came away, I was surprised at how powerful of a movie that was. Like I was going in, admittedly, I was going in like, this is going to be a fun Marvel, mashup movie, and it's got some of my favorite characters. It's got Yelena. She's hilarious. She's got Red Guardian. He's fantastic. But no, it was much more emotionally effective. I found myself much more affected emotionally after seeing that than I expected. It was a pleasant surprise.
Yeah. And that to me, that makes some of the best movies. And I think in this, it applies to this one. If you haven't seen K-pop Demon Hunters yet, I advise you to go check it out. It is on
highly
Netflix.
recommended.
Yeah, if it's still in theaters next week, go support it while it's still there. So they keep making these kind of films. That's how how you can do that.
If it is, I will go back. I don't know if they extended it for a second weekend because they released the sing-along version on Netflix.
Oh, okay. So they might not.
So probably not.
But if it is, you can go, and you don't have Netflix, you can go see it. However,
go see it in the theater.
I mean, if for as much as it costs to see in the theater, you could buy a month of Netflix and watch a bunch of other stuff too.
That's true.
And that's not me telling you not to go to theaters, because these type of movies are the reason I go to theaters. I don't go for the little rom-coms and stuff. Sorry, rom-coms. I love rom-coms, but it's not for me. If I'm going to have to fork over a lot of money, it's going to be an event that I want to see. Right.
And never mind the fact that, there's, and especially with sing-alongs, like we had mentioned,
I probably won't go to this.
Oh, well. Good. Yeah, I suppose like Thunderbolts sing-along.
I'm saying, so I don't sing super well. I'm not much of a singer.
That doesn't matter.
But I don't want to hear me singing if I'm one of the people in the theater next to me. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, if that person over there, and more power to them, I'm not knocking them. They can sing badly, and that's that, whatever. But I personally don't want to hear it. Yeah. And I love that people are embracing them and just being their whole selves, singing to the top of their lungs and enjoying themselves. More power to them. I'll wait for the regular one. That's just me. That's not a condemnation in the least.
No, in the least.
No, I want people to go out there and just have a blast. It's just not for me. It's not my thing.
No, I agree. It's it's definitely there's certainly something about doing a sing along in the theater with other people.
I think it would be fun.
At home.
I might do a Hamilton one because it's coming back to theaters. I don't know if you heard
Hamilton is coming back,
or not
to theaters.
Coming back to theaters, going to theaters for the first time. Yeah.
It's interestingly
if they
enough,
do a sing along, I might be tempted to join that one.
I feel like Hamilton in the movie theater can't help but be a sing along.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, I think you have to do both, like they did with Wicked, because not everybody wants that. Like I said, I might not want it. I want to see. I think you have to have both. I think you have certain screenings that are sing along.
I would be very interested to see if Disney decides, you know what, we should do a sing along.
I think they will.
A little bit
I think they will. With the success of Wickeds, with the success of this, I think for sure it's happening. I feel
like that's got to be on the books, right?
Yeah, I think
they have to be thinking about it.
They'll release it in theaters for a week, and then the second week we'll have a sing along for like a couple of shows or something.
Boom.
I think that's
there.
That's what you'll.
I'm there.
That's what you'll see.
I'll go with my A.Ham hat.
I'll have to get the A.Burr then.
I have.
And we'll
that.
go together. Oh, okay. Well, do you want to wear the ham though?
We can rock paper scissors.
No, I don't care which one. I'm just saying. You said you were going to bring the A.Ham. I would just bring the opposite. Is what I'm saying.
I have both A.Ham and A.Burr,
okay.
so we can decide when we meet at the theater.
Do we have to duel at the end? I mean, I'm okay with that if I'm Burr, because that means I live through it.
Because you lived, right.
I'm playing. Okay. So go check it out. It's great. It's a lot of fun. Before we go, we do have one more movie to give away, though. We're giving away a copy of Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. What do you have to do to do that? Follow us on Instagram. Find the Mission Impossible, share, like, and comment. We're going to choose a couple people, give them some free copies. All you have to do is super easy, right? I mean, you're going to, you don't even have to engage with us after that. Just follow.
It's very
possible. You're right. But we've got another movie we're going to give away. And same thing. If you're on Instagram, you're going to see this movie pop up. When you see it, comment, make sure you're already following, and you could end up getting one of these as well. But the movie that I'm talking about is another sequel. It is the third in a series of horror movies this one's called 28 Years Later. That's right.
Oh.
The sequel to 28 Days Later and 28
which was a sequel
weeks
to
later. Was it weeks? Yes, weeks. Because we talked about this, right? 28 months didn't happen.
Days, weeks, 28 months later didn't happen.
We don't care apparently what happened then.
It was too short of a time.
Yep. And then 28 years later.
Right. So then the next one, well, we already went over this, but I was going to say
talk
that the
about
next
it.
one would have to be what?
28.
Anyways.
Decades
28 decades later?
And it's in space now? No, probably not. Anyway, certified
that would
fresh.
be amazing.
Certified, because that's what friggin' Jason did.
That's what
and
everybody
Hellraiser,
else did.
Right?
Correct.
Certified fresh, and what critics are calling the best movie of the year, period. 28 years later, with Ray Fiennes, Aaron Taylor Johnson, and Jodie Comer, and directed by Academy Award winner Danny Boyle, is available now to watch on digital, and you can get a digital copy free for following us on Instagram and just responding to that image.
And
That's it.
And you don't even have to wait 28 years later.
You
to
don't.
Get the code.
Like, yeah, we'll probably within.
It might be a couple of days later.
Yeah, not
Definitely
even
not
28.
years.
Probably
not even 28 days. Definitely not 28 weeks nor 28 years later.
Yeah. And I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. I love that series. I really love the first one. It's not as good as the first one. The second one I don't like as much. I like this one better than the second one. It's really a coming of age film that takes place in an apocalypse. It was kind of cool. And there's some interesting themes brought about in this film as well, which, again, I think we were just talking about, right? Movies that have like more depth and meaning than
makes them more compelling.
than the horror that it's actually, is the horror is literally just like a side effect of what we're actually experiencing in the film. So check it out. And we found out it's actually the first part of what is becoming another movie they shot back to back, directed by a different director, but still by Alex Garland. And it is
Bone Temple.
That's what it was. Yes. 28 years later, the Bone Temple.
Bone place of worship.
Yeah, I knew it was some kind of place of worship. We had this conversation. That was on the episode that the audio was ruined and you couldn't hear. So
that was on the peaked episode.
Yep. So we didn't release that, but yeah. So check it out if you haven't seen it. If you like those movies, it's definitely a great, fun installment to that. I did warn people in the other version that there's quite a bit of zombie nudity in this movie. Which could be a turnoff for some people. Maybe it's a turn on. Maybe you like that. I don't know.
Well, granted, yeah. What would that be called? What kind of philia?
I don't.
Zombie.
Isn't that necro? Well, they're not dead.
Necro?
They're not dead.
No, because they're not dead, and they're not even zombies technically.
They're rage zombies
series,
or whatever.
Right?
Yeah,
they're like infected
with rage virus. But yeah, so there's quite a bit of that. If that bothers you, there's a lot of appendages flying around.
Okay, all right.
It's a a little extra, a couple here and there. But if you're fine with that the story is
But it
very
makes
good.
sense, though. I mean, these are infected people.
They're not going
It's
to be
been
shopping.
28 years. They're not keeping their clothes nice and tidy.
No,
You know
they've
what I'm saying?
probably disintegrated off in 28. Are they still alive though? Or are these new infected? That's the real question.
I haven't seen
is
it
the
yet,
rage
so I
virus
don't know.
is the rage virus keeping
Is it
them
contagious?
alive? Oh, it's definitely contagious. I mean, you
Oh,
get
that's
even
right,
a
it is contagious. Well,
it's
obviously.
through
Just like a
through
little-
saliva.
even a drop.
So if a drop
Right.
hits your eyeball, like you're done.
Boom, gone.
Like if it gets in your system at all. But
That's a
it
good
occurs
question.
to me that like I keep assigning zombie undead rules to them, and that's not the
Right.
case.
Then
I'm gonna have
that's
to
not necessarily the
reapproach
case.
this and think about it.
Okay.
That's a topic for a different episode. But thank you
Yeah.
guys for listening to this episode. Make sure you follow us on Instagram and Threads, TikTok, Reels.
The TikTok.
Yeah, because we're gonna actually put clips from this episode up on all those things as well. We're gonna try.
Oh, for the love of Pete.
We're gonna try to.
I don't know who Pete is.
We're gonna try to be a little more active on those channels to see if we can get some more engagement there. So make sure you check and follow if you're on those as well. Thank you for listening to another episode of The Podcast is Real with World Gone Geek. Here, I am Jeff. That's Utah. And we will see you guys next time.
See ya. I'm waving.
Oh, you know what? I wave too, but I usually don't tell people.
The Podcast is Real is a World Gone Geek production.